Thinking of a better version of me. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am a recovering alcoholic. I'm still sober and I'm still enjoying each and every single day. Never a dull moment in sobriety, and I've never met somebody who regrets ever getting sober. So I want to talk today about a topic that we had a meeting last night, and this kind of came up as we were sharing, as we were having this dialogue and conversation. I was like, man, this is a really good topic to discuss here on a morning monologue. It's this idea of I don't want you to ever think like me, and I don't ever want to think like you. I want to think like me, but better. In other words, I want me to think like me, but a better version of me. And let me set the stage for you. Before I came into recovery, I thought I had the world figured out. I thought I had a pretty good idea of how the world operated. Hell, I thought I had a great idea of how I operated. But as I ended up in recovery, and as I started looking back, I started realizing, shit, I didn't know everything. I thought I had a pretty good idea. I thought I knew a lot of things, but I must have been wrong somewhere along the line, because after all, I ended up in the rooms of recovery. I ended up working a recovery program. So somewhere along that line, I must have made some bad choices and bad decisions that landed me here. And Bill Wilson summarizes it for us greatly. I don't think he could be any more clear when he writes in the big book that my drinking or drugging was but a symptom. The real problem of the alcoholic, of the drug addict, centers in his mind rather than his body. What he's saying is, we have a thinking problem. We don't have a drinking problem. We got a thinking problem. And it's our thoughts. It's the fact that we think that we know things when in fact we don't really know these things that end up landing us into trouble. I remember thinking back. I could think back to whenever I used to think cholesterol was terrible for me and I should never eat cholesterol at all. I was wrong. I can look back now and say I was wrong. Now I drink it like a damn bottle of water or something. I remember thinking that I was being super health conscious by drinking a diet soda. Soda's good for you. Diet soda's even better, right? I was dead wrong. Terribly wrong. I remember thinking I would never be able to run or exercise or do the things that I'm doing today because, well, hell, I'm just too damn old. I would never be able to do these things. And I was wrong about that too. I also remember thinking, oh, sure, I can have just one drink. I've learned how to manage my alcoholism. I've learned how to control my drinking. I was absolutely wrong. And as I started progressing through my recovery program and started, hanging out with like-minded people and learning to think differently, not like them, but differently than what I used to think, I realized it was the biggest, fattest piece of humble pie had ever been served in my life to look back and go, I was wrong. I thought I knew all these things, but I must have been wrong because now all these things are true. And it's something that we're going to continue. Just because we get clean and sober doesn't mean we know it all. Matter of fact, Bill Wilson writes around step 11 in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, can't remember the page number, but he even says that God gave us brains to use after all. In other words, the whole point of me getting clean and sober is to look back and say, yep, I was wrong. This is where I was wrong at. I've learned something new, and now I need to keep learning. In other words, we need to keep using our brains. We need to keep that willingness to be open-minded enough to go, yeah, you know what? Maybe I was wrong on the decisions I made yesterday. Maybe I was wrong about some of the decisions I made the day before. Or maybe I'm wrong to have a preconceived idea about this, that, or the other. We need to remain willing. Just because we've got 6 months under our belt, maybe a couple years of sobriety under our belt, doesn't mean we all of a sudden know everything. And when you go into these meetings, a lot of times you'll talk to people, and it's like you always hear them say, like-minded people, like-minded people. I don't want to think like another alcoholic. I want to think like a better version of who I was. My thinking was screwed up, yes, and that's what brought me in here. But I want to think like me, for me, of me, but a better version of me. I don't want to be a carbon-copy replica of someone else sitting in a room. I'm an alcoholic anyway. I came in thinking like an alcoholic. Why in the blue hell would I want to continue thinking like another different alcoholic? I want to think and learn to become a better version of me, not a better version of Jimmy, Johnny, or Susie, or whoever. I want to become a better version of me, and I got to start thinking that way if I ever hope to achieve any type of long-term sustained sobriety. So with that being said, I'm out of time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. If you like the content of these Recovery Classroom video messages, feel free to like and share with your friends and on your other social media channels. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.